Hey everyone, my name is Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek at Origins 2019. I've been joined by Chad from 25th Century Games, and you brought Space Explorers.
I did.
I'm really keen to hear about this, particularly because I was already drawn in by the artwork, and so you sold me there. Now I want to hear about the game. Tell me about the gameplay.
So this is so it's exciting for us to have it at Origins. So this is the kind of the public release for Space Explorers.
Okay.
It was on Kickstarter. This is the first time it's available for sale to the public, with a retail release later this month.
Okay.
So Space Explorers, the game itself was originally published in Russia about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I'm a huge space fan. Worked for a few years at NASA, and I love the era. And I was just cruising through actually BGG, and I came across this game, and I'm like, I gotta get a copy of this game just to buy and play.
Right.
All I did is want to get.
You weren't looking to publish it. You were just like,
just want to get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, I found it wasn't in English. Started talking to the publisher about just getting a copy. Next thing you know, I'm bringing it over to the U.S. and we're doing an English version, and it's absolutely stunning. So I just said the artwork, very Life magazine, kind of like almost like an oil painting type of art.
Yeah, we shouldn't gloss over the artwork because it really is, again, art's in the eye of the beholder, but I find this very alluring. I think it's a really beautiful presentation.
So it's designed by Yuri Zrevlev, who designed Viceroy, so a very well-known designer.
Right.
So if you think it is a tableau engine builder, you are essentially space agencies.
Yes.
And you're trying to build out your space agency with different engineers, astronauts, testers, laboratory technicians.
This is our personal area.
This is your personal area. And what you're trying to do is recruit people to your tableau, use their abilities to then eventually launch spacecrafts. And the best thing about it, all the spacecrafts in this game are all actual historical spacecrafts. So Vostok 1, Apollo 11, Sputnik, all from that era.
So if you're an enthusiast, this is gonna mean something to you. And if you're not, it just looks cool.
It just looks cool. You're like, I know what Apollo 11 is. I know that, right? And so what's really interesting about the game, though, it's a closed economy. So there's nothing ever leaves the table.
Right.
So from the resources you can spend to the cards, there is no discard pile. You don't ever toss anything out.
Right.
So to walk kind of through the iconography of the cards. So what each of the people, the top left number here, this is the victory points for that's going to score at the end of the game.
Right.
So the end game condition is you have 12 people in your hub, or the last spacecraft is collected, and the game is going to end.
Okay.
So you got VP here. The symbol's right below, so you've got the different colors here. That is where you're going to recruit them into your tableau based on the color. And it's also going to be what counts when you look to see if you have the right personnel to launch your spacecraft. So right now in my tableau, I only have one yellow and one red, so I can't launch anything.
Right.
You've got one blue, you've got two yellow on that one, and one red. So you're also a little short, because even Sputnik 2 here takes.
So it's not the number of cards; it's the value that I'm looking at. Okay.
So some of them will have two icons, some will have one. Some will actually have, in the example of this lab technician, actually both colors.
I see.
So when I end up recruiting this person to my tableau, I can actually put it in green or even yellow.
Yeah, right.
But either way, it's still going to count toward that.
Okay.
So the other elements on the card from the left-hand side here, that's the resource costs. So this one, very, very expensive, very, very cheap. Well, it's not, but victory points also will vary based on cost, and you also just the abilities. So the lower right-hand corner is what this person does for you. So this is your engine builder part.
Right.
So this technician here, this laboratory technician, gives me nothing from an ability standpoint.
Right.
Relatively inexpensive to purchase. It's 3 resources, but she gives me 2 credits toward the project. This one very expensive. Also has a very nice ability, but it's also high reward there as well.
What are my resources? How do I track my resources here?
So how you track them, you will start out the game with one card in your hand. On a turn, you can do really just 2 things. I can either pick up someone from the field or from the deck into my hand, or I can recruit them into my tableau. So to recruit them into my tableau, I need to come up and pay for the costs associated on the corner. So right now, I start out the game with 1 token of each color.
Okay.
So I could buy with tokens. I could buy this guy,
or this one here,
or this one here. But I can't buy either of these. Although what I can do is this: you're also going to start the game with 1 card in your hand.
Okay.
And I can always just pick one up, pick one here, and put it in my hand.
Yeah.
At any point in time, I can discard a card from my hand back to the middle. Again, nothing ever gets discarded out of the game.
Right.
So I put it back out in the middle. Now anyone can pick this person up.
Yes.
But I have 2 wild resources to recruit with.
Okay.
So now I could say, I'm just going to recruit this guy for 2, and I
Yeah.
literally pay no resources.
Right, okay. You're making up the difference.
Making a difference.
Okay, yeah.
But if I wanted to recruit this guy, so he has got 1 of each, I discard that to the middle, so I can eliminate 2 of any color.
Yep.
So I could just take, I'm just going to pay the yellow.
Yep.
Again, I don't discard it.
Yeah, where does that go?
Goes to you.
Ooh,
Player to your left.
Lovely.
So now you end up actually having a little more buying power in your turn.
Right.
And so it kind of shifts, the resources shift around.
Yeah.
So now I would take this person and put him into my tableau here because he has a blue icon.
Yeah.
There's another way you can make things a little cheaper. So for example, if I recruited now, I wanted to recruit someone into blue. Let's say I wanted to recruit this person in. Because I have 1 blue generating value here, from the bottom up, I eliminate 1. If I had 2 blues here, I would eliminate 2 or 3. So now it gets a little bit cheaper as my engine gets bigger.
Right. The more you invest in blue, the cheaper it becomes.
Blue gets because they're helping you recruit more of those type of workers.
And is there a benefit in the diversity? I suppose part of it is that you're going to need some diversity up here to launch different types of ships, right?
But yeah, so you want to try to look at the field of spacecrafts because all the tiles are double-sided, and there's some extra ones not even shown here. You can just mix them up and put them out.
Okay.
So you want to see the kind of a game plan of like what I might want to launch. But what's also interesting about it, you may never want to put anybody on top of this. And what I mean by that is the special abilities. If I was to recruit, let's say I recruited this builder. Right now, this guy is giving me 1 extra blue value.
Okay.
So right now I have 2 blue, 1 yellow, 1 red.
Right.
If I really wanted to buy this card, because this card is going to give me a green resource all the time, so I'd immediately have a green one generating.
Got it.
I'm going to put that in my tableau on top of the other card.
Now you've lost the ability?
I've lost the ability.
Okay.
Only the top ability is actually valuable.
So another decision point of like, I want this, I need to launch this, I'm going to lose this powerful ability. Is this the best card for me?
It's the best card now.
Yeah, interesting. And you said you can also buy off the top of the deck or whatever?
You can just recruit right in, to your hand. So I turn. Next round, I could say, oh, I really want to put that card out.
Got it.
Maybe I recruit it out, or I might just say, I'm going to discard this back to the middle, get my 2 wild resources, and then do something else.
And I see it's very, I would say, language independent here. We see a lot of symbols, but it looks like, is this sort of a player aid for what the different abilities are? So if you're not quite sure on what that symbol means, you can look it up very easily here,
All of them are numbered, so I can very quickly, they're also grouped by type, so I can very quickly say, okay, well, this 59. Astronaut, 59, what does it do? I get 1 progress point of this yellow skill.
Right.
In my hub.
That makes sense.
So which is where the language independence kind of comes in because the cards themselves are not, but the player aids are. And they're double-sided. So it's each player will have their own.
Yes, yeah, perfect.
So until you kind of learn the iconography, this gives you a good way to kind of just quickly double check it.
Now you've got a couple of things I see off screen there a little bit too. What do we have here?
I did. So as part of so one of the things we also worked with Yuri on was a solo game. So this is actually a soloable game. So we actually built a solo mission flight plan. So now you can actually have a whole rule book dedicated just to solo play. Now this rule book was available, we did it as a bonus promo for our Kickstarter backers.
Okay.
But if you go to the Space Explorers page on BoardGameGeek, you can download this and print it out and have a copy at home.
Excellent. So is this something that's included in the game though when you buy it, or is this a separate thing?
It's a separate thing. You have to go to BGG to get it.
Okay, excellent. Was there anything else you want to share with us about the game before we wrap up, or
no?
It feels like a pretty comprehensive and good overview of it. So
it seems daunting. A lot of people will say it's reminiscent a little bit of Splendor. But certainly a gamer's version of it. Right. Like if you've been playing Splendor for a couple of years, 2-3 years, and you just feel like I just need something a little bit more.
Maybe a nice stepping stone up from that, or whatever.
Now I ratchet up a little bit because you're going to be used to trying to match, let's say the Nobles, for example. You're going to be used to that concept. You're going to be used to the engine building concept.
But now you get some powers on here too.
And now you have some powers. There's some different decision points.
Not to mention, maybe you want to go to space, right? Instead of just doing gems, you want something like this. No, that was excellent, Chad. I really appreciate that. And how many people can this play up to?
It is 2 to 5.
2 to 5.
Yep.
And approximate game length, would you say?
So I would say for most games, probably 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes?
45.
Okay. Well, Chad, thank you so much for giving us an overview of Space Explorers.
Thank you, Ryan.
And all of you, thanks for watching.